here with another episode of 2Techies. I'm here with my man. First of all, this dude got the Flyers name and the Flyers attire. Just Christmas. Yeah, you ain't never gonna forget that, son. That's gonna be my next shirt. Just so you ain't gonna have nothing else on the shirt. The shirt just gonna say Christmas.
I am a former designer. So
oh yeah?
So
that works into it.
My background.
All right. So, Chris, 2Techies, just for people out there, I don't do the same intros. These are real candid conversations. So I have scripted questions, but the questions go in different ways. So 2Techies is for two technical people having technical and non-technical conversations. I like people to know that people behind tech are real. We're all not just super nerds that just sit in the corner. We solve problems. So, but the first question for you, Chris, is when did you fall in love with tech?
I can fundamentally say my first in 1980.
Okay.
The first Apple IIe came out. I took a class at my high school and started then.
Wow.
So I'm super old school.
Before Steve Jobs, we even knew he was going to be wearing New Balances.
Right? We were so excited about the machine. I remember in the class. And I think I was a engineering major in school. So I did Pascal and Fortran 77, all those early programming codes. So I would say for the most part, I'm fascinated with technology. I find it to be such an important element of happiness.
Okay. That's a whole nother level of love right there.
Well, the empowerment.
Right.
As a designer, creator, developer, what you can do once you have the pathways figured out, it lets your imagination go to the next level.
Now, since you said that, what exactly are you doing in technology now? You just told us a little bit of your past of being a designer. Definitely understand the power of a computer. I started off as a graphic designer also. So currently, what are you actually doing in technology?
I run a company here in Miami called Keep Living. We're a digital health platform for the underserved community.
Okay.
Where we've built an intermediation platform between hospitals, providers, and payers to help care coordinate for our community in a culturally minded environment, leveraging churches, barbershops, and salons as kind of endpoint destinations.
So those are your beacons?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we build applications outside the clinical environment.
Okay.
That can be migrated in these faith-based environments, such as telemedicine in the church. So 30 minutes before you go to church, you can get a telehealth visit with a board-certified physician that speaks your language and is your same color. And so we know with health disparities that the interaction with doctors often is culturally opposite, and many times patients won't really engage with the physician in a meaningful way because they don't trust the physician.
All right.
So when you don't trust the physician, you are reticent in really telling them, this is what's bothering me, this is what's not bothering me, and then they're intimidated. So when they don't take their medication, they're scared to tell the doctor, like the doctor's gonna do something to them.
Yeah.
So our model is think, coach, not doctor, right? And that model is to see your physician.
Think, coach, not doctor.
Right.
I like that.
And that metaphor is under the understanding is we want you to look at your physician as a coach that's helping you win a game.
Which is life.
Right, which is life. And if you really believe in your coach, and you believe in your team, meaning you believe in your family, and staying around and being a able team member. Many players are on IR.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of teams have about 10 to 15% of their team is on injury reserve.
And then what does it do to the team?
Hurts the team and bring everybody else down because they're normally your star players.
Same with families.
Right.
So same with families. So when you got grandma sick, auntie sick, this person sick, and you got one caregiver that's responsible for everything that they're doing, you often are in a very stressed environment, and the team can't win.
I understand.
Right. So our community in general is the least healthy of all ethnic groups. We are the least not in the healthcare information technology of us, right? Meaning there's no digital health. There's about this many digital health companies in healthcare right now. We don't develop applications. We use Fitbits. I know everybody. I got a Fitbit. Do you write apps for them? Do you develop iWatch apps?
Consumers are not creators.
Right. So you can get the SDK from Apple. You can put a health app and you can write code, build your own app, put it on the App Store, boom, right? But we are very much over-indexers, we know, of the use of technology, but we haven't quite got, especially in healthcare, at all gotten any traction.
Yeah, I would say healthcare and fintech are two of the areas that we have.
Two.
Yeah.
Because of the cybersecurity issues, I just spoke about it. You know, the security issues we had to be vetted to get our Florida Blue contract took 2.5 months just to get vetted on the cybersecurity. Just on that.
Wow.
And the amount of insurance coverages we had to have patient health information, PHI data, is significant in the double encryption, where stuff is migrated.
Yeah, I think we had briefly talked about it over our conversation, which is so crazy.
I know.
We've talked months ago. We were supposed to schedule a meeting, man. Walk up, didn't even know it was you, but when he said the name, I was like, I know the name, I know the name.
Right.
So now that I know you, couldn't take you out to get drinks, but imagine if we was there, craft beer, craft cocktail, what would we be drinking?
I don't drink. I only drink Heinekens, sake. That's it.
Okay, so a Heineken
and a sake.
All right, so that means we got a beer from our lineup that if you like Heineken, I got something you'll like. Yeah, absolutely. Because it tastes way better than a Heineken. It'll just expose you to a whole nother.
I think it's my New York thing. You know, in New York, everybody.
It's the trend to have the bottle in your hand. You at least have something.
I start drinking.
Okay, so you've already expressed to us the double encryption and everything you went through with Florida Blue. I have so much I can say about Florida Blue that I'd rather not say. But what are some of your...
You know, sometimes I'm working hard at changing the narrative, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to go where the pain point is, right? And you got to push them.
You already answered my question. That's what it is. Push through the pain point so that, right. And I actually can't say nothing more than that. So, on the technical side of your career, if you had to think of one of your biggest milestones or even maybe difficulties on this journey, this recent journey, what would it be?
Oh, man. There is what I call implicit bias in the healthcare industry when it comes to black entrepreneurs. Right. So because of the level of education you have to have, the multiplicities of certifications you have to have, it filters out us in a really, it filters us out.
Is that an automatic assumption that we as black people don't have the talent and the intelligence to obtain it? Wow.
I think it's implicit. And it's implicit because of the lack of investment in companies such as mine, the lack of C-suite executives in these roles, and
nobody
the contracts,
to relate to and teach you and show. Yeah.
All the money in healthcare is technology now. All the money's in healthcare is technology.
So pushing our kids to be doctors, we need to push them to be the creators of the technology the doctors are going to be using.
Right, because I'll tell you something. What's happening because of projects like the Watson and artificial intelligence, doctors are starting to realize they have to become data scientists.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't understand how to interpolate the data, the big hospitals like Mayo Clinic, Kettering, you know, Geisinger, those Cleveland Clinic, they're starting to look at dual kind of physicians that have competency to understand technology while practicing medicine.
Wow.
Because medicine's moving into the artificial intelligence space, so you're now talking to that data and saying, okay, this is what's best, and you have to kind of, big data doesn't lie. I'm a big data guy.
I understand that. That's
so it doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. So having that ability to have such a qualitative and quantitative set with the artificial intelligence wrapped around it creates some good opportunities for everyone, because now you get better clinical outcomes. Another thing we focus on is genomics, right? We don't understand the power. There's one thing I'm telling all the listeners is the African American has the most diverse gene on the planet.
Okay.
The most diverse gene. That means medicine can learn from our gene more than any other gene on the earth.
We can teach more than anybody else.
There's more information in our genome than any other groups of people in the world because of the experience of slavery, right? And the interbreeding and the environment that forced us to withstand such hardships that it has made the genome stronger. Wow. So if you want to learn about the mankind, the study of black people is most valuable because of the information in the genome.
Because of our hardships and what we went through to endure, to learn the most about the human body, it's best to understand the body of a black man or a black woman.
Period. That's clinically factual.
That's heavy. I'm gonna jump right into. Wow, that's heavy.
It's clinically factual.
You hear two words. I just want to know your initial response and your initial emotion to it. Diversity, inclusion.
It's BS.
I want y'all to understand. Normally, I would have a lot more to follow up when people were making these statements, and I had to reformat the question. But I wanted other organizations and other people to understand the authentic feelings of why we say that. So with that being said, I had to kind of figure out a way to adjust it. You know, and I'm comfortable to talk about this on camera because we're not perfect. We're learning as we go, even with telling a story. So with that being said, if you had all the resources and you have everything you need or is available to you, but somebody said, for you to fix diversity inclusion, you have to give me the solution and you can't use no more than 3 to 4 sentences, what would your solution be to fix it?
You know what a scotoma is?
Scotoma?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay. So it's a Greek word for the blinding of the senses.
The blinding of the senses.
Okay. So we have what we call cognitive blind spots.
Okay.
Okay. In football, when you're a cornerback, you have a blind spot. And what that means is you're covering your receiver and you don't want to see what's going on inside of you, so you block them out, right? That's a good blind spot. Racism is a scotoma. So when somebody has a scotoma, which is a blind spot, and they meet you, they can't see past it. So they don't have the ability because their sense is blinded. So it's called implicit, right? Meaning, because I have this blinder over me, no matter when I talk to you, no matter what I see, I can't see you for who you are.
It's so
I can't
funny.
see you as a technologist because you're black. So I can't really see you as a real technologist because you're black.
So the only way to solve this, we said in a conversation yesterday, to fix this problem, it would have to be like Lady Justice. You would have to be blind to the situation and only be able to see the talent, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna look up that word and I'm gonna have to define it and put that in the lower thirds.
Scotoma.
Scotoma. All right. The world is yours. You get to choose one mentor for a year. Total accessibility, funding, everything that you could want from a mentor.
So
Who are you picking?
I had, so I worked for Shaquille for about 7 years of my life. I was his brand manager.
Shaq Diesel.
Yep.
You were the brand manager for Shaq.
Yeah.
So that explained the fine linens, my man.
So,
That's what that explained.
When we were working, we got a cease and desist from Warner Brothers on his tattoo, that Superman tattoo. So remember
how you cease and desist my tattoo?
Exactly, right? But it was a Superman. So their attorney said, hey, you gotta remove your tattoo. That's our trademark. Yeah, straight up. So it somehow they put me in the middle of kind of, I don't know. I'll tell you how I got put in it. The president, which was a very close friend of mine after that, her name is Jeanette Kahn. She's the president of DC Comics.
Okay.
If you follow DC Comics.
I'm a nerd, got it.
So she started Milestones, and she's a creator with the Milestones guys. And they said, there's this CEO of DC Comics. We don't know how to deal with her. You know, could you come in there and figure it out? Long story short, what came out of that, Shaq got a three movie deal with Warner Brothers, right? That's the net. His movie deal still, and Shazam. That's how he got his deal out of this cease and desist conversation.
Wow.
And they worked it out. You know, and everyone loves Shaquille when they meet him. He's
Right.
like the gentle giant, right? So everyone loves him. So it wasn't adversarial once they all got on the table. But what happened was Jeanette Kahn became a very, very close friend of mine, a mentor, and introduced me to a lot of people. One of them was Quincy Jones. So one day she said, for the NAB conference in Vegas, where they have all the syndicated TV shows, she was like, I'm gonna let you hang out with Quincy Jones for the day, and you're gonna shadow him. And so I got to shadow Quincy Jones for a whole day.
Wow.
And bro, it changed my life.
So I guess if one day could change your life, if you had him for a year, that would be.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I was like, yo, if I could ever have his swag, if I could ever have his vision, and he was talking about nothing slowed down for me. He was like 67. He's like, la, 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 la. And I was like, yo, if I could be like that, or have even some of him in me, or just be around this man. And it's funny, I did an art curation with the Miles Davis estate.
Oh.
Yeah, on Miles Davis's art. I'm gonna send a whole piece to you. So I did a
Oh,
whole,
man,
yeah,
blessings
I'm
on
gonna send it
camera.
to you.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Thank you.
So it's funny when you said Miles.
Man, we have an app called Curator. So it ain't just Miles. I'm an artist. I love art.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So I would say Quincy Jones, right?
Okay.
Because he kind of epitomizes Renaissance. He was a young school, then he went old, then he did, you know, he's like every generation, he doesn't let the generation go past him.
He defines them.
Right.
Gotcha.
So I don't believe in you're ever too old. I don't believe in that metaphor. That's a myth.
So we port you. I get to plug in a set of headphones right into you. And I'm listening and I'm looking for the soundtrack that's defining your life. What song?
Illmatic by Nas.
Dope. Dope. All right.
You can't even say that.
You can't. That was
I'm
dope.
talking on camera, but yeah, you can't even say that.
So we're all in the game, and you're looking to it's the tombstone, it's the T-shirt. It could happen today. You might live another 40 years. What's defining your legacy?
A nice guy.
Nice guy. You are. I mean, you're real. The soft-spoken. I mean, I wish I could that voice.
I've thought about that many times, you know, and I've told people in business, I'm like, listen, you get favor by being kind, not being the smartest in the room,
Right.
not being the most brilliant dude, or, you know, or I went here, I did this. Sometimes if you just, I always kind of like, and I learned this from a lot of athletes I work with. You know, you have those athletes that go into the arena and they don't speak to the usher. Then you have those athletes that go into the arena and they know the usher's first name, right? And the usher comes up and talks to them about their family and this and that. Now, one athlete makes 10 million, this athlete makes 10 million a year. What makes them different?
Nothing but how they treat
That's
other
it.
people.
One's a nice guy, one's an asshole. I'd rather be on my tombstone, he didn't die, asshole, had $1 billion, treated everybody wrong, mistreated all his people, and he's got all. I'd rather say, nice guy. Maybe we finished last, but in heaven we finish first.
So now we got the T-shirt now reads Chris, nice guy Christmas.
That's it.
That's all we need.
We're good.
So I put you in a hot seat, and it's kind of different because I was supposed to meet with you about 2 months ago.
I know, it's deep.
So is there any comment or thought or question you would like to ask me before we wrap this up?
We got to get more of what you guys are doing, more support.
I appreciate
That's what we got to do. And we got to leverage as much as we can to force this narrative. That's why I want to force the narrative, because I fundamentally believe the revolution is in technology. I fundamentally believe that. And we can lessen really what has happened to us by us independently doing it. That's why I was telling you, as an entrepreneur, I see so many of black executives give all of their time to another man's equity and not themselves. And then when they get to a certain age, there's no need for them in corporate America. I see they calling me, can I get a job? I was SVP of this, SVP of that, SVP of that. Never president, might be EVPs, but never president. So they don't get the real exits that they should. And then they stayed in the job too long. So when you stay in the jobs too long,
Come off, you burnt.
we don't need you, right? And then those were the same guys that when I was trying to get contracts with their corporations, they were like too scared to help me because they were worried about their job. So you have to own your own business. That's our only way out of this. Or guys like Trump are gonna put us in the grave, man. That's their strategy.
Look at man, that boy went all the way there. So how do people find you on social media, Chris?
Keep Living, check us out, and keepliving.org.
Okay.
And big shout outs to Black Tech Week for, keeping it 100, right? And I think I went over to their offices and I was like, yo, I wanna like figure out how to do more with them because they're just real.
Gotcha.
So
Got you. So we at True Form of Digital Grass, at our meetings, we close out with
hashtag
go ahead.
Keep Living Florida Blue. Oh, so big
Don't
shout
worry, we got it. Well,
so big shout-
hashtag what?
It's hashtag Florida Blue Living, and there's also hashtag Keep Living, hashtag.
Okay, so we got hashtag
Florida
Blue,
Blue,
keep living. Okay.
Hashtag Florida Blue Health, because we got a campaign with Florida Blue right now.
All right.
And we're rolling that out for the.
We'll add them into we'll put them on, so we'll have them on screen
And
for
we're
you.
partners with Univision now, so we just
Live.
announced a pretty big deal with those guys as well.
All right. And so we always close out with a final word in our meetings. It gives me the sensibility to know how everybody felt, what they took from the meeting, or even what they might be going through at that personal time right there. So if you could close us out with one word, man.
Health rights is a civil right.
We're gonna go with health as is one word, because it's a long word if we combine it. So, but guys, thank you. Special edition of Black Tech Weekend with Chris Christmas. Appreciate you.